जब चरिय तब होए पसम तन, रहै किरम दल खाए। काची गागर नीर परत है, या तन की है बड़ाई। When this body is burned, it turns into ashes. If it is not cremated, then it is eaten by armies of worms. The unbaked clay pitcher dissolves when water is poured into it. This is also the nature of this human body. काहे भैया फिर तो फूलिया फूलिया, जब 10 मास उरद मुख रहता, सो दिन कैसे भूलिया रहा। Why, you siblings of destiny, do you strut around all puffed up with pride? Have you forgotten those days when you were hanging upside down for 10 months? Pause. ज्यों मधुमाखी त्यों सठोर रस, जोर जोर तन किया। मरती बार लेहो करिए, पूत रहन क्यों दिया। Like a bee collects honey, this fool eagerly gathers and collects wealth. At the time of death, they shout, take him away, why leave a ghost lying around? देहरी लो बरी नार संग, भई आ गए सजन सुहेला। मरकट लो सब लोग कुटुंब, भयो आ गए हंस खेला। The soul goes alone to the next world, and even the man's wedded wife does not come out to see him off the threshold. Then some close friends accompany the dead body for some distance, and all the family members go to the cremation ground. But in the end, the human being goes alone to the next world. कहित कबीर सुनो रे प्राणी, परे काल ग्रस कुआ। झूठी माया आप बंधाया, जो नलिनी भ्रम सुआ। O Kabir, listen to me, O man, you are all falling in the blind well of hell, being caught by Yama, the god of death. This man gets caught up by Yama due to his love for Maya, just as a parrot gets caught by the trap due to illusion and false belief, and then this parrot dies. This man, without realizing the truth and trying to find the secret of life, wastes his life. वेद पुराण सभय मत सुन के, करी कर्म की आशा। कालग्रस्त सब लोग सियाने, उठ पंडित पै चले निराशा। O brother, by listening to or by studying the Vedas and Puranas and following their instructions, this man learns to lead this life in performing formal rituals only. But all these wise men have not escaped from the fear of death and have finally left this world in despair and disappointment. मन रे सरयो न एक काजा, भजयो न रघुपत राजा रहा। O my mind, you have not been able to complete even a single job. Why could you not recite God's true name? What else could you do? Pause. बन खंड जाए जोग तप कीनो, कंद मूल चुन खाया। नादी बेदी शब्दी मोने, जम के पटै लिखाया। Some people perform penance, austerities of various types, and yoga by going to forests and living on herbs or green leaves. in the jungles without attaining the secret of life or the truth. All the various mendicants, sadhus, including those blowing their horns, trumpets, listening to mystic sounds, studying Vedas, or those shouting Alak Niranjan, all those belongings to the cult of uttering one word, indulging in silence, they all finally get caught by Yama, god of death, and they face death. भगत नारदी हृदय नाई काछ कूच तन दीना राग रागनी पिंड हुए बैठा उन हर पह क्या लीना. All these people have not realized the truth of God's worship or His love, and they hand over this body to the Yama after looking after its maintenance for so long. There are some others who sing various rags, ragnis, tunes, and get themselves worshipped, posing as religious leaders. They are engrossed in the love of worldly falsehood and their own praise, so they are not really interested in following the right path without realizing the God. पर्यो काल सभय जग ऊपर माह लिखे परम ज्ञानी कहो कबीर जन भय खाल से प्रेम भगत जय जानी. All these learned men, engrossed in whims and fancies without realizing Vaheguru, they are finally caught by Yama, god of death. The whole world has been controlled by death and Yama. O Kabir, the people who have attained the love of God, being His saints, they have attained salvation, gotten rid of worldly bondage. Kare duja दुए दुए लोचन पेखा हो हर बिन और न देखा नैन रहे रंग लाए अब बेगल कहन न जाए. O brother, I do not perceive anything, anybody else except the true God, though the people perceive the dark side of the world with their eyes due to their dual-mindedness. However, we are enjoying the bliss of life by developing the love of God and perceiving God with our eyes, as there is nothing else to be described. Hamra param gaya pau paga, jab Ram naam chit laga raha. We have now gotten all our doubts and misgivings cleared, and we have overcome the fear of death since the time we have inculcated the love of God's true name in our hearts. Now nothing else except true name appeals to us. Pause. बाजीगर डंक बजाए सब खलक तमाशे आए बाजीगर स्वांग सखेला अपने रंग रवै अकेला. We have realized this world as a drama of a magician who plays his tricks by collecting people with the beat of a small drum, and the whole world has come to watch this worldly drama. After the god has finished his feats, he winds up everything and is left alone and attains the blissful state of complete silence in a trance, just like the magician who removes his mask of a magician and then appears normal like a common man. Kathni kahe param na jaye, sab kath kath rahi lukai, जाको गुरमुख आप जाए ताके हृदय रहा समाए. By simply describing God's greatness, we cannot cast away our whims and fancies, as the whole world has tired itself out in doing this job. But Guru-minded people, they have been made to realize the actual truth about secret of nature, and they remain immersed in love of Vaheguru within their hearts. Gur kinchit kirpa kini, sab tan man dehe har lini, keh kabir rang rata, mileo jag jeevan data. I've surrendered my body and soul to the God. Once the Guru has blessed me with his grace, and thus I've cast away all my worldly attachments. O Kabir, when we inculcate the love of God in our hearts, we get merged with the God, the benefactor of this human life. जाके निगम दूध के ठाटा समुंद बिलोवन को माटा ताकि हो बिलोवन हारी क्यों मिटे गो छाछ तुहारी. O brother, the God in whose presence the knowledge of holy books is like the cow's milk, pure and nourishing, and the saints partake this milk of true name by meditating or churning this ocean in the company of holy saints, then we become the charming, beloved disciple of God, so that God will not bother any more to evaluate your salvation. O my soul, try to imbibe the love of the God who has the nectar of true name as the fountainhead of all the knowledge of holy books, like Vedas, in the company of holy saints, as the utensil for churning this milk. Then the God will not disturb your normal joy of reciting true name in the company of holy saints. चेरी तू राम न करस पतारा जग जीवन प्राण अधारा रहा. O maidservant, O my mind, why do you not accept the true Master as your God's spouse, who is the Creator and who is the sustainer of all the beings of this world? Pause. Tere galhe tauk pag beri तू कर कर रमैया फेरी तू अजो न चेतस चेरी तू जम बपुरी है हेरी. The God has engrossed you in the love of worldly attachments, O human, with this chain of bondage round your neck and the fetters of the worldly desires in your feet, and you have been made to wander in various forms of life while going through the cycle of births and deaths. O my soul, how is it that after all these pangs of separation in this cycle, you do not remember the God's spouse till, with this background, the Yama, god of death, has viewed you as his shikar, his hunt, just as a hunter views the deer as his kill during the hunting expedition. Prabh karan karavan hari kya cheri hath bichari soi soi jagi jitlai tit lagi. O Vaheguru, your might and your greatness controls the cause and effect of everything happening in the world, and nothing is in the hands of this slave of yours, O Vaheguru. But now this man has been awakened from his slumber of ignorance and lack of knowledge through the grace of Vaheguru, and has further started to engage himself in the worldly functions as directed by you as per your will. Cheri te sumat kahate paaye जाते प्रम की लीक मिठाए सो रस कबीर जानिया मेरे गुर प्रसाद मन मानिया. O mortal, from whom have you gained this wisdom now and all the intelligence that has helped you to demolish the wall of dual-mindedness, falsehood between the soul and the prime soul? O Kabir, I have enjoyed the eternal and true bliss of life since the time I am engaged in the recitation of God's true name through Guru's grace and guidance. Jai bhaj na jiya jai jo mile ta ka lagai sad jeevan palo kahahi मुए बिन जीवन नाही. We could get fully satisfied by uniting with God. Without His presence, we cannot exist for a while even, and could lead a purposeful life or a fruitful life. A perfect, successful life is only worthwhile, but without casting away our egoism or I amness. Like a humble person, this life would be of no avail. अब क्या कथिए ज्ञान विचारा निज निरखत गत व्यवहारा रहाओ. What should we discuss and deliberate about the knowledge of God? This whole worldly drama vanishes before our own very eyes, being transient. Pause. कस कुंकम चंदन गारिया बिन नैनो जगत निहारिया पूत पिता इक जाया बिन ठाहर नगर बसाया. I've seen the whole world engrossed in fruitless efforts like a blind man, using fragrant things like saffron and sandalwood for the body and living a purposeless life. The son has given birth to his father without a place. The city has been established. This could be explained as if the man has produced knowledge that has helped his father to come out of the cycle of births and rebirths and attain salvation. The soul has been enlightened within the prime soul, the Godfather, thus gaining certain virtues that has liberated him from wanderings in the cycles. जाचक जन दाता पाया सो दिया न जाई खाया छोड़िया जाए न मुका औरन पहचाना चूका. The humble beggar has found the great giver, but he is unable to eat what has been given to him. He cannot leave it alone, but it is never exhausted. He shall not go to beg from others any longer. जो जीवन मरना जाने सो पंच सैल सुख माने कबीर सो तन पाया हर पेटत आप मिटाया. Those selected few who know how to die while yet alive, they enjoy great peace. Kabir has found that wealth, meeting with the God, he has erased his self-conceit. क्या पढ़िए क्या गुनिए क्या वेद पुराना सुनिए पढ़े सुने क्या होई जो सहज न मिलियो सोई. Nothing could be gained by reading, studying, or listening to the Vedas or Puranas until and unless we have gotten united with Vaheguru in the state of equipoise through true knowledge. What should we read or listen to without having proper knowledge? And what is the use of reading Vedas or Puranas without the recitation of true name? What use is this listening and reading if celestial peace is not attained? हर का नाम ना जपस गवारा क्या सोचे बारंबारा रहा. O foolish human being, why do you not recite God's true name? What are you thinking about time and again, having forsaken the true name of Vaheguru? Pause. अंधियारे दीपक चाहिए एक बस्त गोचर लहिए बस्त गोचर पाई कट दीपक रया समाई. Just as in the darkness a lamp is required to be lit to produce proper lighting, in the same manner the light of knowledge is essential to enlighten a darkened mind due to ignorance, which helps us to realize the invaluable jewel of true name which is lying hidden in the darkness of ignorance, and the unseen God is attained through the enlightenment. Thus the people who have been enlightened With this lamp of knowledge, they attain the wealth of true name, which is beyond our comprehension. कहे कबीर अब जानिया, जब जानिया तौ मन मानिया, मन माने लोग नावपति जय, नावपति जय तौ क्या कीजय. O Kabir, now we have realized the truth, and with this realization, the mind has become stabilized and we have attained peace and tranquility of mind. However, what could we do if this world does not believe, but we are fully satisfied? So why should we worry anymore? हृदय कपट मुख ज्ञानी, झूठे कहा बिलोवस पानी, काया मांजस कौन गुना, जो कट भीतर है मलना रहा. O liar, O foolish man, you are full of deceit and hypocrisy. Through outwardly you are known as a learned person. What is the use of churning water and giving discourses to the world without having any real knowledge? How could your sayings, your discourses have any effect on the public when you have not recited the true name or developed love for Vaheguru yourself? O brother, what is the use of having baths 3 or 4 times at the holy places for cleansing this body when your mind is full of filth of worldly falsehood? Pause. Loki atsat tirath nai, kaurapan tau na jai, kahe kabir bichari, pavsagar tar murari. What is the use of washing the bitter melon at all the 68 holy places of pilgrimage as its bitterness still exists? O Kabir, whatever I am saying is with full deliberation and thought. O ignorant man, let us pray to Vaheguru. O God, may we be saved from this arduous ocean of life through your grace. Surat ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद, बहु पर पंच कर पर तन ल्यावै, सुत दारा पह आन लुटावै, मन मेरे भूले कपट न कीजै, अंत निबेरा तेरे जी पहली जय रहाओ. This foolish person amasses lot of wealth and belongings through deceitful and unfair means and clever moves, which this person then spends lavishly for the pleasure of children and spouse. O my foolish mind, why do you engage in practicing deceit and falsehood, as in the end you will be required to account for all such deeds? You alone will be held responsible for all the shortcomings. Pause. Chin chin tan chi jai jara janave, tab teri ok koi paniyo na paave, कहत कबीर कोई नहीं तेरा, हृदय राम की ना जपै सवेरा. O human, the old age is approaching fast and your body is perishing bit by bit every moment, and no one will even offer you water to drink. No one will help you. O Kabir, I've seen that no one keeps company in this world permanently. O brother, why do you not recite God's true name? This human life is shining like a morning star for you, provided you want to avail of this opportunity to attain Vaheguru. Santo man pavane sukh banya, kich jog parapat ganya rahao. O saints, we are enjoying the eternal bliss now, having controlled the mind from wandering all over the place like the wind, air, and we have realized the path towards uniting with God. This has been realized with great contemplation. Pause. गुर दिखलाई मोरी जित मिरग पड़त है चोरी मूंद लिए दरवाजे बाजिए ले अनहद बाजे. The Guru's guidance has provided us the means of controlling the senses that were responsible for robbing the field of our heart full of virtues through the door of our vicious and sinful actions. When we managed to shut the doors of our senses from leading to vicious thoughts, then we started listening to the blissful, unstrung, all-pervasive music of nature within us. कुंभ कमल जल भरया जल मीठया उभा करया कहो कबीर जन जानिया जो जानिया तो मन मानिया. Our lotus-like heart was filled with the water of vicious thoughts, like a pitcher which has been cleared by turning it upside down with the help of God's true name, and the mind is stabilized now. O Kabir, having realized the truth, this mind has realized the value of true name, and we are imbued with the love of Vaheguru now. Rag Surat Pukhe Bhagat न कीजय यह माला अपनी लीजय हाँ मांगो संतन रेना मैं नाही किसी का देना. O Vaheguru, kindly take away this rosary, as we cannot perform your worship with an empty stomach. Now I would seek the dust of the lotus feet of holy saints and do not depend on any other support. Madho kaisi banai tum sange आप न देहो ताले वो मंगे रहा. O Vaheguru, how could I inculcate your love in my heart unless you bless me yourself with this love through your grace? However, I would ask for this love with my prayers myself. Pause. Due ser mango chuna, pao kio sang luna. Ad ser mango dale, moko dono wakht jiwale. O Vaheguru, I would seek 2 kilos of wheat flour, 1/4 kilo of ghee, along with some salt. Then I seek 2 kilos of pulses, and these things are considered essential for my existence, which would keep me alive. Khat mango chaupai, sirhana avar tulai, upar ko mango khindha, teri bhagat kare jan thindha. I also seek the cot with 4 legs to sleep on, along with a pillow and mattress as well. O Vaheguru, then I would seek the cover so that this devotee could engage in your worship in peace and devotion. मैं नाही कीता लब्बो इक नाव तेरा मैं फब्बो कहे कबीर मन मानिया तो हार जानिया. O Vaheguru, I have sought these things without any greed, as I have developed love for the recitation of true name. O Kabir, I have realized the secrets of God as my mind has been fully devoted to Vaheguru's love, having inculcated the love of the God in the heart, and have attained Vaheguru. Rag Surat Bani Bhagat Naam De Ji Ki Kare Duja Ik Onkar Satgur Prasad. जब देखा तब कावा, तो जन तीरज पावा। नाद समाय लो रे सतगुरु, पेट ले देवा रहाओ। O brother, when I happened to meet the true Guru, the enlightener, and I inculcated the love of Guru's message in my heart, I was enabled to sing the praises of God whenever I perceived Him within me. Thus I enjoyed peace of mind and the bliss of life by reciting God's true name. Pause. जय चिल मिल कारत संता, तह अनहद शब्द बजंता। ज्योति ज्योति समानी, मैं गुर प्रसादी जानी। Whenever I perceived the Vaheguru, I got thrilled by the enlightenment through God's presence, so I could hear the all-pervasive, unstrung music of nature along with the Guru's message, and I realized fully that Vaheguru is pervading all over the world in equal measure and is omnipresent. रतन कमल कोठरी, चमकार बीजल तही। निरय नाहि दूर, निज आत्मै रह्या भरपूर। Further, I found that the human body houses the jewel of this heart, like the lotus flower, which comprises many gems, like worldly detachment, while the soul shines like the light with living power within it. Moreover, we realize that Vaheguru is neither near nor distant from us, but is prevailing within the soul in full measure. जय अनहत सूरज आरा, तह दीपक जलय छंछारा। गुर प्रसादी जानिया, जन नामा सहज समानिया। Once the sun of knowledge shines within the soul, all other lights become dim before the light of Vaheguru's presence, that prime soul. O Namdev, I've realized through Guru's guidance that I'm getting merged with God Almighty in a state of equipoise effortlessly. Kar chautha सोरठ, पाड़ पड़ोसन पूछे ले नामा। का पहचान छवाई हो, तो पह दुगनी मजूरी दहो। मोको बेधी देहो बताई हो। रिबाई बेदी दीन न जाई, देख बेडी रह्यो समाई। हमारे बेडी प्राण अधारा रहाओ। The Neighbor is asking me, O Nama, from whom have you gotten this hut built? If you were kind enough to give me his detailed address, then I would also get my job done by him by giving double the labor charges than you have paid. But I replied, O friend, the worker whom I had engaged cannot be passed on to someone else. If you were to contemplate seriously, then you will appreciate that the same worker, the prime soul, is pervading all the beings equally, whereas that Vaheguru is the mainstay of our life and is our only support. Pause. बेटी प्रीत मजूरी मांगे, जो को छान छवावे हो। लोग कुटुंब सबूते तो रै, तो आपन बेटी आवे हो। This worker, this carpenter does not charge money as wages for his job, but asks for our love and devotion in response to all his labors for construction of the hut. In fact, this worker offers his services himself to the person who practices worldly detachment and is imbued with his love alone. ऐसो बेटी बर न साकों सब अंतर सब ठाई हो गूंगे महा अमृत रस चाख्या पूछे कहन न जाई हो. It is beyond me to give a description of such a rare skilled carpenter, as he is beyond all description and our comprehension. Moreover, he is omnipresent and pervades within us all, just as a dumb person cannot explain the taste of the sweets which has been enjoyed by him. बेधी के गुण सुनरी पाई जलद बांध त्रु थाप्यो हो नामे के स्वामी सी बहोरी लंक पपीखण आप्यो हो. It is impossible to describe the virtues of Vaheguru, but his functions and controls are varied. In fact, the universe is functioning within his set principles, just as the sun, moon, and stars are established in the sky in such a manner which no one else could explain. O Namdev, that Vaheguru has pleased me with his grace, just as Ram brought back Sita from the clutches of Ravana and bestowed the kingdom of Lanka to Babhishna. Now I have also been blessed with his grace. Surat kar tija अणमड़या मंडल बाजै बिन सावण कण हर गाजै बादल बिन बरखा हुई जौ तत् बिचारै कोई. Person who controls breath and constrains mind with full meditation listens to the unstrung, all-pervasive music of nature continuously, just as a drum beat is heard without playing on beating the drum. This world is false, being transient, like the drum beat being heard without beating it, which is not possible, just as it is impossible to hear the burst of clouds except during the months of Savan. The rain of dew of the nectar of true name is just like the rainfall without the presence of clouds in the sky. If one were to deliberate, it would be seen that this world is false, being transient, as is clear from all these examples. मोको मिलियो राम स्नेही जह मिलिए देह सुदेही रहाओ. I've gotten united with the true Guru, which has resulted in my soul merging with the prime soul, making this life a success. Pause. Mil paras kanchan hoya, mukh mansa ratan paroya, निज पाओ पया प्रम पागा गुर पूछे मन पति आगा. Just as stone gets converted to gold with the touch of the gold stone's paras, we also have gotten purified and we have become perfect in the company of holy saints. We have imbibed our heart with the love of God, just as the beads are arranged in a thread. We have concentrated this mind with the nectar of true name. Once love of God is imbibed in the heart and one gets enlightened, all the doubts and misgivings are cleared. With the Guru's guidance, we have gotten full faith and confidence in Vaheguru. Jal Peter Kumbh Samanaya, Sab Ram Ek Kar Janaya, Gur Chele Hai Man Manaya, Jan Naame Tat Pachanaya. I have perceived the same God pervading everywhere in the world, just as the pitcher is immersed in water or a pitcher full of water becomes stable in water. So the disciple has full faith in the Guru and is imbued with his love. O Namdev, I have thus realized the God, the embodiment of truth and reality. राग सूरठ बाणी भगत रविदास जी की एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद जब हम होते तब तू नाही अब तू ही मैं नाही अनल अगम जैसे लहर में उदद जल केवल जल माही. When I'm in my ego, then you are not with me, O Vaheguru. Now that you are with me, there is no egoism with me. The wind may raise up huge waves in the vast ocean, but they are just water in water. माधवे क्या कहिए प्रम ऐसा जैसा मानिए होए न तैसा रहा. O Vaheguru, what can I say about such an illusion? Things are not as they are seen. Pause. नरपत एक सिंहासन सोया सुपने भया बिखारी अछत राज बिचरत दुख पाया सोगत भई हमारी. It is like the king who falls asleep upon his throne and dreams that he is a beggar. His kingdom remains intact, but separated from it, he suffers in sorrow. Such is my own condition. राजपुयंग पर संग जैसे हैं अब कछ मरम जनाया अनिक कटक जैसे फूल परे अब कहते कहन आया. Like the story of the rope mistaken for a snake, the mystery has now been explained to me. Like the many bracelets which I mistakenly thought were gold, now I do not say what I said then. सर्वे एक नेक स्वामी सब कट भोग वै सोई कह रविदास हाथ पैने रै सहजे होए सोई. O Ravidas, the same God is seen in various forms of life, and He alone is enjoying all the worldly pleasures within us. The God is present within us and is very close to us, just like the hand, closer than hand, and whatever is happening is seen by us effortlessly in the state of equipoise. God is present within us and we are perceiving everything happening as per His will, and then we undergo joy or suffering according to that. जो हम बांधे मुँह फास हम प्रेम बंधन तुम बांधे अपने छूटन को जतन करो हम छूटे तुम आराधे. O Vaheguru, we have arranged to hold you in the bondage of our love, just as you have gotten us engrossed in the love of worldly bondage. We have relieved ourselves of our bondage with great efforts, but how could you get out of the bondage of our love? माधवे जानत हो जैसे तैसे अब का करोगे ऐसी रहा. O true Master, you will not be able to get out of our bondage of love, as we have inculcated such a strong love for you in our hearts. So what will you do to protect yourself from our bondage of love? Pause. मीन पकड़ फांक्यो और काट्यो रांद कियो बहुपानी खंड खंड कर भोजन कीनो तो न बिसर्यो पानी. Just as a fish is cut into small pieces and then these pieces are cooked and roasted, and then this food is eaten in small morsels. But the fish never forgets or forsakes the love of water, and we feel more thirsty after eating this fish. आपन बापै नाही किसी को, पावन को हर राजा, मोह पटल सब जगत व्याप्यो, भगत नहीं संतापा. Vaheguru has covered the whole world with the curtain of worldly attachments, but the saints of Him, they do not undergo the suffering of His separation. The God does not belong to any one person, like the father of one person, only as He, Gopen, is only fond of our love and devotion, and that God, King Emperor, belongs to all His beloved devotees. कह रविदास भगत एक बांधी, अब एका स्यों कहिए, जा कारण हम तुम आराधे, सो दुख अजहूं सहिए. O Ravidas, whom should we explain that the worship of God's true name is our only support in life? O God, the purpose of a recitation of your true name and your worship is to cast away all our afflictions of our separation from you. दुलभ जन्म पुन फल पायो, बिरथा जात बेकै, राजे इंद्र समसर ग्रह आसन, बिन हर भगत कहो कह लेखै. We obtain this precious life as a reward of our past actions, but without discriminating wisdom, it is wasted in vain. Tell, without this devotional worship of Vaheguru, of what use are the mansions and thrones like those of King Indra? Na bicharyo Raja Ram ko ras, jai ras anras, bisar jahi rahao. You have not considered the sublime essence of name of Vaheguru, our King. This sublime essence shall cause you to forget all other essences. Pause. जान जान भय हम बावर, सोच सोच दिवस जाहि, इंद्री सबल निबल विवेक बुध, परमार्थ परवेश नहीं. We are behaving like foolish people. We do not know what we need to know, and we have become insane. We do not consider what we should consider, and our days are passing away. Our passions are strong, and our discriminating intellect is weak. We have no access to the supreme objective. कहियत आन अचरियत अन कछ, समझना परै अपर माया, कह रविदास उदास दास मत, पर हर कोप करो जी दया. We say one thing and do something else, entangled in the endless Maya. We do not understand anything. O Ravidas, I am your slave, O God. I am disillusioned and detached. Please spare me from your anger and have mercy on my soul. Sukh sagar surtar chintaman, काम तेन बस जाके, चार पदार्थ अष्ट दशा सिद्ध, नवनिध कर तल ताके. He is the ocean of peace, the miraculous tree of life, the wish-fulfilling jewel, and the calm Tayan, the cow which fulfills all desires, are all in His power. The 4 great blessings, the 18 supernatural spiritual powers of the Siddhas, and the 9 treasures, they are all in the palm of His hand. हर 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 न जपहि रसना, अवर सब त्याग बचन रचना रहाओ. This tongue does not recite the true name of God all the time. leaving aside all other talks and fruitless speech. Pause. Nana Kyan Puran Ved Ved 34 अक्षर माही व्यास विचार कहो परमार्थ राम नाम सर नाही. Various Shastras, Puranas and Vedas of Brahma, they are made up of 34 letters. After deep contemplation, Vyas spoke of the supreme objective. There is nothing equal to God's name. Sehaj Samad Pad Rehet Fun Bade Pag Liv Lagi Keh Ravidas Pargas Hriday Tar Janam Maran Pe Pagi. Very fortunate are those who are absorbed in celestial bliss and who are released from their entanglements. They are lovingly attached to the God. Says Ravidas, enshrine the God's light within your heart, and your fear of birth and death shall run away from you. जो तुम गिरवर तो हम मोरा, जो तुम चंद तो हम भय हैं चकोरा. If you are the mountain, O Vahiguru, then I am a peacock. If you are the moon, then I am Chakor, a bird like partridge who is in love with you. माधवे तुम ना तो रहो तो हम नहीं तो रहे, तुम स्यों तोर कवन स्यों जो रहे रहा. O Vahiguru, if you will not break with me, then I will not break with you. For if I were to break with you, with whom would I then join? Pause. जो तुम दीवरा तो हम बाती, जो तुम तीरथ तो हम जाती. If you are the lamp, then I am the wick of that lamp. If you are the sacred place of pilgrimage, then I am the pilgrim. Sachi preet hum tum syo jori, tum syo jor avar sang tori. I am joined in true love with you, Vahiguru. I am joined with you and have broken with all others. जय जय जाओ तहाँ तेरी सेवा, तुम सो ठाकुर और न देवा. Wherever I go, there I serve you. There is no other, O God and Master, other than you, O Divine God. तुमरे भजन कटै जम फासा, भगत हेत गावै रविदासा. Meditating and vibrating upon you, the noose of death is cut away. To attain devotional worship, O Ravidas, I sing to you, O Vahiguru. जल की पीत पवन का थंबा, रकत बूंद का गारा, हाड मास नाड़ी को पिंजर, पंखी बसै बिचारा. This human body, human frame is like the water barrier, a pillar of air and kept in position with the mud of blood, as it is skeleton of bones, flesh and arteries of veins, whereas the soul abides within this frame as a part of the prime soul. प्राणी क्या मेरा क्या तेरा, जैसे तरवर पंख बसेरा रहा. O human being, nothing in this world belongs to anyone, me or you, as it is like the nest of birds on a tree who fly off from the tree after a stay, as this stay is transient one and this abode is temporary and for a short period. Pause. Rakho kandhu saro niva, साढ़े तीन हाथ तेरी सीवा. Why do you not realize its temporary nature and are busy making walls? After death, you literally need only 6 feet of place, 3.5 hands of land for cremation. Banke bal pag sir deri, ehu tan hoye go pasam ki teri. What will be the value of your beautiful hair along with the tilted turban with pride when this body of yours is going to mingle with the dust one day? Unche mandar sundar nari, Ram naam bin baji hari. Your palaces are lofty and your brides are beautiful, but without Vahikaru's name, you shall lose the game entirely. मेरी जात कमीनी पात कमीनी ओछा जन्म हमारा तुम शरणागत राजा रामचंद्र कह रविदास छमारा. O Ravidas, I belong to a low class. My social status is low, my ancestry is low, my life is wretched. I have come to your sanctuary, O luminous God, my King, so says Ravidas the shoemaker. Chamrata गांठ न जनई, लोग कठावे पन ही रहा. I am a shoemaker, but I do not know how to mend shoes. People come to me to mend their shoes. Pause. आर नहीं जय तोपो, नहीं राम बिठाओ रोपो. लोग गंठ गंठ खराब बिगुचा, हाउ बिन गांठे जाए पहुंचा. Neither do I possess proper tools like the needle to stitch leather shoes, nor the cobbler's knife to put on leather patches to mend the shoes. People have tried their best to become virtuous or otherwise with lot of efforts, whereas I have attained Vahiguru without any preoccupations or efforts of this kind. Without developing love for this body of leather, I have merged with the God. Ravidas japai Ram nama, mohe jam syo nahi kama. O Ravidas, I have been reciting God's true name alone and have nothing to do with the Yama, God of death, whereas normal people, they are punished by Yama of death. राग सोरठ बानी भगत पीखन की, एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद. नैनो नीर बह तन कीना, भय केस दूत वाणी. रूप धा कंठ शब्द नहीं उचरै, अब क्या कहे परानी. O Vahiguru, the eyes have started oozing water and the body has weakened while the hair has grown snow white and the throat is also choked due to ill health and speech is completely impaired. I can hardly speak. O human being, what could you do now? Now it is not possible to even recite the true name. Ram Rai Hoy Bed Banwari, अपने संत ले हो उबारी रहाओ. O true master, O God of the world, now you are the only physician of such people and gardener of this worldly garden. May Vahiguru protect the honor of his saints. Pause. माथे पीर शरीर जलन है, करक करे जे माही. ऐसी बेदन उपज खरी पई, वाका औखद नाही. O Vahiguru, there is a pain in the forehead and whole body is burning with pain and the heart is throbbing with pain. I am suffering so badly that there is no remedy for my afflictions except for your support through true name. हर का नाम अमृत जल निर्मल, एयो औखद जग सारा. गुर प्रसाद कहे जन पीखन पावो मोख द्वारा. O Vaheguru, your true name is the only nectar and pure, like water, which could function as the medicine of all worldly ills. O Pekan, this human being could attain salvation only through the Guru's grace. ऐसा नाम रतन निर्मोलक पुण्य पदार्थ पाया. अनिक जतन कर हृदय राखिया रतन न छपै छपाया. We have attained the invaluable jewel of true name as a reward from the God for our good deeds as predestined by His will. We have tried to keep this jewel hidden within us in our heart with lot of efforts, but this jewel was so resplendent with its shine that it could not be kept hidden. हर गुण कहते कह न जाए जैसे गूंगे की मठियाई रहाओ. O brother, we have been enjoying the bliss of singing the praises of God or in describing His virtues, but we find it is beyond us to describe His greatness, just as a dumb person cannot tell the taste of the sweets taken by Him. Pause. रसना रमत सुनत सुख श्रवणा चित चेते सुख होई. कहो पीखन दुए नैन संतोखे जय देखा तह सोई. The tongue speaks, the ears listen, and the mind contemplates on Vaheguru, and they find peace and comfort. Says Pekan, my eyes are content. Wherever I look, there I see Vaheguru. तनासरी महला पहला कार पहला चौपदे एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैपं गुरु प्रसाद. जियो डरत है आपना कैस्यो करी पुकार. दुख विसारण सेविया सदा सदा दातार. Whom can I go to? My soul is afraid. I serve Him, that one and only, who makes me forget my pains. He is the giver forever and ever. साहिब मेरा नीत नवा सदा सदा दातार रहा. My God is ever fresh and new, who is bestowing His favors on us always, being our God benefactor. Pause. अनदिन साहिब सेवियै अंत चढ़ाए सोए. सुन सुन मेरी कामनी पार उतारा होए. Day and night I serve my God and Master. He shall save me in the end. Hearing and listening, O my dear sister, I've crossed over. Dhyal tere naam taran sad kurbane jao raha. O merciful God, your name carries me across. I am forever a sacrifice to you. Pause. सर्वम साचा एक है दूजा नाही कोई. ताकि सेवा सो करे जाको नदर करे. In this universe, there is only one true God. There is no other. He alone serves Him upon whom He casts His glance of grace. तुद बाज प्यारे के बिरहा सावड्याई देह जित नाम तेरे लाग रहा. दूजा नाही कोई जिस आगे प्यारे जाए कहाँ रहा. Without you, O beloved, how can I live? bless me with the greatness that I remain attached to you. There is no other, O beloved, to whom I can go and ask. Pause. Sevi Sahib apna, avar na jaachon koe, Nanak taka das hai, bind bind chuk chuk hoye. I serve only my true God. I ask for no one else. O Nanak, I am his slave. Every moment, bit by bit, I am sacrificed to him. Sahib tere naam vitthon, bind bind chuk chuk hoye. O true Master, I would offer myself as a sacrifice to Vaheguru by reciting true name all the time, moment by moment, bit by bit. Pause. तनासरी महला पहला, हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी, मुहलत मुहत न जाना, नानक बिनवै तिसै सरे वह, जाके जी पराणा. We are just human beings of the briefest moment on this life. We do not know the appointed time of our departure from this life. O Nanak, I pray, I serve the one to whom our soul and breath of life belongs. Andhe jeevana vichar dekh, kete ke dina rahao. We are just blind. Let us look at it and let us consider this. How many days our life shall last? Pause. Saas maas sab jiyo tumhara, tu mein khara pyara. Nanak sair ev keht hai, sache parvatgara. My breath, my flesh and my soul are all yours, O Vaheguru. You are so very dear to me, O Nanak. The poet says this, O true God, O cherisher. Je tu kise na dehi mere sahiba, kya ko kadhe gehna, Nanak binvai so kich paiyai, Purab likhe ka lehna. If you had given me nothing, O my God and Master, what could I have done? What could have pledged to you? O Nanak, I pray we receive that which we are predestined to receive. Naam khasam ka chit na kiya, kapti kapat kamana, जम द्वार जाओ पकड़ चलाया, ता चलदा पछताना. This deceitful person never remembers the name of Vaheguru and only practices deceit. When this person is marched in chains to death's door, then this person regrets all actions. जब लग दुनिया रही है नानक, किछ सुनिए किछ कहिए, पाल रहे हम रहन न पाया, जीवत्यां मर रही है. As long as we remain in this world, O Nanak, we should listen and speak of Vaheguru. I have searched, but I have found no other way to remain here, so remain dead while yet alive. Tanasri mahalla pehla, kar duja, ik onkar, satgur prasad. क्यों सिमरी सिवरिया नहीं जाए, तपै आओ जीड़ा बिल लाए, सिरज सवारे साचा सोए, तिस विसरिए चंगा क्यों होए. How can I remember that one and only God in my meditation? I cannot meditate on Him and remember Him. My heart keeps burning and my soul keeps crying out in pain. The true God is the whole Creator, and He is the one who adorns us. Forgetting Him, how can we remain any good? हिकमत हुक्म न पाया जाए, क्यों कर साच मिलो मेरी माए रहा. By the clever tricks and commands, we cannot find Him. How am I to meet my beloved God, the true Master, O my mother? Pause. वखर नाम देखण कोई जाए, ना को चाखे ना को खाए, लोक पतीणे ना पत होए, ता पत रहे राखे जा सोए. How rare is the one who gets out and searches for the merchandise of the Naam. No one tastes it and no one eats it. Honor is not obtained by trying to please other people. One's honor is preserved only if Vaheguru preserves it. Jeh dekha teh reha samaye, tud bin duji nahi jaye, जे को करे की तय क्या होए, जिसनो बख्शे साचा सोए. Wherever I look, I see that one and only God pervading and permeating everywhere. Without you, O God, I have no other place to rest. One may try, but what can anyone do by one's own doing? He alone is blessed, whom the true God forgives. Tanasri mahla pehla, nadar kare ta simrya jaye, atma dravay rahe livlaye, atma paratma eko kare, antar ki dupita antar mare. When that Vaheguru glances His grace, He bestows it on us, then we remember Him in meditation. Then the soul is softened and one remains absorbed in Vaheguru's love. One soul and the Supreme Soul becomes one this way, and the duality of the inner mind is overcome. Gur prasadi paya jaye, har syo chit lage, fir kal na khaye raha. It is by Guru's grace that one is able to find Vaheguru. One's consciousness is attached to God, and so death does not devour such a person. Pause. Sach simriye huve pargas, tate bikya mein rahe udas. Satgur ki aisi vadiyai, putra kalatra viche gat pai. By remembering the true God in meditation, one becomes enlightened, and then in the midst of all the worldly falsehood, one remains detached. Such is the glory of the Satguru, the true Guru. In the midst of children and spouses, one attains emancipation. ऐसी सेवक सेवा करे, जिसका जियो तिस आगे तरे, साहिब पावे सो परवान, सो सेवक दरगह पावे मान. Such is the service that God's servants perform, that they dedicate their soul to Vaheguru, to whom it actually belongs. One who is pleasing to the God and Master is acceptable. Such a disciple, servant of Vaheguru, obtains honor in the court of God. Satgur ki moorat hirday vasaye, jo ichhe soi phal paye, sacha sahib kirpa kare, सो सेवक जम ते कैसा डरै. Such a person enshrines the image of the Satguru, true Guru, in one's heart, and such a person then obtains the rewards, whatever he desires. The true God and Master grants his grace. How can a disciple of him be afraid of death? Panat Nanak kare vichar, sachi bani syo tare pyar, ताको पावै मोख द्वार, जप तप सब इहो शब्द है सार. O Nanak, I pray that I practice contemplation and enshrine love for true word of Vaheguru's Bani. Then only one can find peace and find gate of salvation. This Shabad is the most excellent of all chantings and austere meditations. Tanasari Mahalla Pehla, Jio tapat hai baro baar, तप तप खपै बहुत बेकार, जैतन बाणी विसर जाए, जो पक्कारो की विल लाए. The human being who has forsaken Guru's word is burning within the fire of worldly pleasures and suffers badly like a leper and wails with pain due to his involvement in vicious and sinful actions. Bauta bolen chakhan hoye, vin bole jaane sab soye, rahao. It is no use crying and wailing over one's afflictions, as Vaheguru, being omniscient, knows all about our sufferings without our making noise about it. Even without our speaking, he knows everything. Pause. Jin kan kite akhi naak, jin jeva ditti bole tat, jin मन राखिया अग्नि पाए, वाजय पवन आखे सब जाए. That Vaheguru has bestowed various favors on this human being by giving him the nose, ears, eyes, all the functions along with the tongue to speak swiftly and sweetly, and has sustained this human being in the fire of mother's womb. Even the world finally declares the birth of this human and individual when one starts breathing and is born in the world. जेता मोह प्रीत सुवाद, सभा कालख दागा दाग, दाग दोष मुह चलिया लाए, दरगह बैसण नाही जाए. Then this human develops the love of Maya, worldly falsehood and worldly pleasures, thus making one a sinner, full of the dark deeds and sinful actions. But when this human, full of his black deeds, engrossed in the love of worldly pleasure, proceeds to God's presence, after that, then one is not able to find an honorable place in Vaheguru's court. कर्म मिलै आखण तेरा नाम, जित लग तरना होर नहीं थाओ, जे को डूबै फिर होवै सार, नानक साचा सर्व दातार. It is through God's grace that one is enabled to recite His name, with which one is able to cross this ocean of life successfully, as there is no other support for one. O Nanak, the person who feels totally lost but with humility at heart is sustained by God benefactor and is able to realize the true God. Tanasari Mahalla Pehla, चोर सलाहे जीत न पी जाए, जे बदी करे ता तसु न छी जाए, चोर की हामा परे न कोए, चोर किया changa kyun hoye. If the thief praises someone, then his mind is not pleased. If the thief curses someone, then no damage is done. No one will take responsibility for a thief. How can thief's actions be good? सुन मन अंधे कुत्ते कुड़ियार बिन बोले भुजिए सचियार रहाओ. Listen, O mind, you blind, false dog. Even without your speaking, that Vaheguru knows and understands. Pause. चोर सुआलियो चोर सियाणा खोटे का मुल एक दुगाना जे साथ रखिए दीजे रलाए जा परखिए खोटा हो जाए. A thief may be handsome and thief may be wise, but thief still is just a false coin worth only a shell. If it is kept and mixed with other coins, it will be found to be false when the coins are inspected. जैसा करे सो तैसा पावे आप बीज आपे ही खावे जे वड्याइयां आपे खाए जे ही सुरत ते है राहे जाए. As one acts, so does one receive. As one plants, so does one eat. One may praise oneself gloriously, but still according to one's understanding is the path one follows. जे सौ कूड़ियाँ कूड़ को पाड़ पावे सब आखो संसार तुद पावे अधी परवान नानक जाने जान सुजान. A person may tell hundreds of lies to conceal his falsehood, and all the world may call him good. If it pleases you, O Vaheguru, even the foolish are approved. O Nanak, Vaheguru is wise, knowing, all-knowing.